I will be honest, coming at you with another video.
What is up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome my special guest. She's been on the show multiple occasions, and it's good to see Laurie back. How's it going?
What's up, man? I'm so glad you guys are you brought me back, man. I'm excited. The Jaguars play the 49ers this week. Ooh,
I
this is
had
gonna
this
be a
on
good
my
matchup.
calendar. I
Yeah,
had this
me
on
too.
my calendar. Yeah, this is a
Me
game I'm
too.
looking forward to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been like almost over a year since the last time we collaborated. But yeah, tell everybody where they can find your social media platform. And hey, I know what you do. That's pretty awesome what you got going on with that other stuff. But yeah, just tell the rest of the audience.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm on Twitter at Laurie Fitzpatrick. You pretty much just take out the vowels at the end. So FITZ, how to keep the fits, then PTRCK. Definitely follow me on Twitter. I have Substack. I'm kind of doing some things on, but mostly on YouTube and Twitter. And you can catch some of my stuff on fanbuzz.com. So.
Oh, that's good. What about the article USA Today Football? No.
Yeah, no, not anymore, not anymore. Just fan buzz now.
Time has changed, I guess.
Time has changed. Yeah, man. It's been a minute since we've been on here, so
I know.
yeah,
Been a while.
definitely looking up though.
Yeah, definitely looking up. Yeah, this is definitely the game I had on one of my calendars. When I was looking at this matchup, I had to say, I know a Jaguar who I can just get. Laurie had to be the one. She had to be the one.
For real, I was waiting for your call, to be honest, because this is like such a crazy week. Like I don't know. I'm looking forward to. I need you to talk a little bit of shit to me right now, because right now the Jaguars are on a high and the 49ers need this win bad. So like, I want to, that's what I kind of want to talk about. I think they really need this win. You think they need a little bit more than the Jags right now. So it's after the bye week. You hope that they're prepared, man. It's exciting. Week 10, baby. Week 10.
Oh yeah.
Through.
Like you want a little bit of talk? Okay, I got
you. Please.
You guys are gonna feel a little overconfident. You're feeling a little overconfident. You're on a 5-game winning streak. You should feel that way. You should pump your chest because you guys are on a roll. You guys have every right to talk, but we'll have to see what happens on Sunday. But
that defense, man, I don't know what's going on, but your defense is so good, and like how do y'all get 3 losses in a row? I mean, I'm just, it's really bugging me because I follow the 49ers, week in and week out. So this is the game that y'all need to really, you need to either bust their ass this week or next week. I'm not sure, but something has to happen with you guys because this is the week to do it, or the season's kind of season's looking a little sketchy.
Yeah, since you're talking about this Niners defense, we've just been a non-existence. It's like we haven't got enough pressure to the quarterback. We haven't got to the quarterback. It's like our defense just fell asleep or something. Like we've been giving up constantly drives. Like you can just ask the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins had all day, and we couldn't even get a single pressure. PJ Walker was looking like the glorifying quarterback that just won consecutive games before he lost to Seattle. And then Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow only had maybe a couple of sacks that he had, but he still had a field day. But man, I'm gonna be honest with you. What really scares me is your running back, Travis Etienne. This guy is going to be a matchup problem. We got to tackle. And if we can't do that, that can be a long day. Trevor Lawrence, I know what he's all about. He can throw the ball down the field. he can scramble when he needs to, and I think the only concern I've seen from your guys' team offensive line in general is the way you guys are giving up pressure, and then he's only been sacked 19 times this season.
Yeah, I think I think Lawrence works well in the pocket, and I think they kind of tailored the offensive scheme for him to get the ball out quick, knowing that the pressure was going to be high. So they have a new right tackle, Anton Harrison. He's a rookie. So that's gonna definitely be a matchup that 49er fans are gonna want to watch. Bosa against a rookie. He had a little bit of trouble against the Kansas City Chiefs when he goes up against these veteran players that are proven. So I think that that's definitely going to be a matchup to watch. But when you look at the left side, I think the entire right side is just not as good as the left side when you're looking at the offense. Oh, shit. So ETN side, and he doesn't run as much to the right side. Like his success is more to the left than it is to the right. So they might be running away from Bosa a little bit more, like just to try to keep the ball like away from his side. Because he's such a good player.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the tougher matchup, is trying to figure out a way to adjust against Bosa. Like, you want to avoid his direction, but the one matchup I'm actually looking forward to, since you just brought this up, is the trenches. Your offensive line versus the Niners defensive line, and to make it even interesting, we come into the bye week making this interesting trade. I mean, what was your reaction when you found out about this move?
Like how they allowed it to happen.
Yeah.
Just similar to like the whole McCaffrey thing. When that happened, it was just like, how's the NFL allowing this? Like, it's like not even fair. I think there is, Jacksonville has had some issues on, in terms of like, listen, Josh Allen has done really well, but coming into the season, it just seemed like they needed another edge rusher to kind of come in and fill the void that what's his name left. He was actually on the 49ers 2 years ago, and then he went to the Jags. Arden Key. Arden Key, yeah, dude, he's so good. He left, and I was thinking maybe they would get somebody to kind of fill that void. And they didn't really get anybody that was worthy. So I was thinking maybe Chase Young could be somebody, or at least another guy. But yeah, you guys ended up getting him. So that's kind of crazy. This is definitely going to be a matchup where he's going to go against the left tackle, Cam Robinson. He is one of the best offensive linemen that the Jaguars have. So that should be, hopefully he's able to hold him back a little bit. And if not, then Trevor better get the ball out fast.
Yeah, he's been sacked 19 times this season. And, since you were bringing up the rookie tackle from Oklahoma, Antoine Harrison, that dude he's a stud, but I think he's still catching up to the speed. And I think the more he plays, he should get better, because I've seen a lot of Oklahoma offensive linemen done well at the next level. So I think with more experience, he'll get better in no time.
Yeah, no, I think so too. I think, just like you said, I think he just needs more reps,
Yeah.
So,
and then you guys just needed. Yeah, and then during you guys' bye week, you guys acquire Ezra Cleveland. Like, what's his role?
So right now he has a little bit of an injury. And so like he's actually kind of playing backup right now. It's something with his toe. So he'll be backing up the guard. So I don't think I kind of think it's the Jaguars. I think it's his left guard. Or could it be the right guard? No, yeah, it's the left guard. I think Walker Little. It's basically his job to lose. Walker Little has moved all over the offensive line, so honestly, it was just hard to remember. But yeah, it's his job to lose at this point. Ezra's a really good offensive lineman, though, so I think if he wasn't hurt, it would be more of a battle going on right now. But Walker has actually done pretty well. He hasn't done terrible, especially according to PFF. He's one of the top 3 linemen right now in terms of pass protection. So,
That makes a lot of sense why you got him, because I think Minnesota was just trying to get whatever they can get in return. But so that was the issue with Jacksonville, was the interior offensive line. I was like understanding about it.
Yeah. The center, Luke Fortner. So I think it's in his second year, and he's not too bad, but he's the weakest link on the line for sure. So I think Hargrave is gonna. I don't want to say he's gonna have a field day, but it's definitely a position where it's our weakest. So, and Hargrave's good, so definitely keep your eye on that.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely send it to Hargrave and say, go over there.
Yeah, go right in the middle. Just bull rush, because that's definitely one of the weakest points.
Oh man, so that's where he's ranked in Pro Football Focus. Your center, Fortner. Wow, lowest grade.
Yeah, pretty low. Pretty low.
So looking at how Trevor Lawrence plays, like when it's against the blitz, he kind of has the worst passer rating. But when he doesn't get pressure as much, right, he does really well.
Yeah, and it's really just about him getting the ball out quick. I see one of the comments is Cisco playing right now.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's one of your ball hawk guys. He's got 3 interceptions this season, and then outside of him, it's Demarius Williams, your nickel, who's got 3 picks also. Like your secondary's kind of been like opportunist, but why am I looking at the rankings and they're ranked 30 against the pass? I don't get that part.
It's tough. Like, they're better against the run. I don't know, but they're like top 5 in turnover differential. So yeah. I think like if it's not a turnover, then it's a big play. So yeah, like how they play is they kind of, how some defense keep everything in front of them, right? Jaguars defense is not really like that. They're like first level, they're linebackers and their nickels. They take care of the flats, and then they'll kind of leave the guys in the back and just be like, yo, let's say a prayer, and they can kind of get the job done, the secondary, but they're not putting a lot of pressure to stop those big plays. So it's kind of just up to the safeties to kind of get it done, and up to the corners, they're not giving them a ton of help. And I think that like, the way that they play zone defense, it's just like when a quarterback messes up, the secondary has been in the right spots, and so they're able to pick passes off. But when you play against like Patrick Mahomes, he's been able to cut up the defense because he's such a good quarterback, and he has the tools to be able to succeed. So it's just about, are the quarterbacks good enough to get through that Jaguars defense? Some of them have been, but a lot of them haven't been, because of that zone. They throw a lot of disguises. They'll have, one middle of field close, and then they'll switch it up right at the snap, and they'll do, cover 2. But a lot of the time they're always disguising. So it's tough for quarterbacks that, aren't too good at reading zone defenses, that kind of have trouble. And it's easier for corners when you're playing zone. If all you have to do is look at the quarterback, because you have a spot. You don't have to turn around to catch up to your guy. You can kind of keep your body in front of you, look at where the quarterback is going, and crash to the ball. So it's a lot easier for them to go to, pick passes off or jump routes, things like that, because of the way they play their defense.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm looking at the way you guys are like in the top when it comes to turnovers, but it's just like a lot of your pass defense has been like, it's a little concerning a little bit, but then you look at your run defense, pretty stout, like number 4 against the run. Like you guys are very good. I don't know how much of a difference it will make with Trent Williams coming back, but we'll see. But
is he coming back this week?
I'm hearing that he's practiced 2 straight weeks. 2 straight days. 2 straight days. My bad. He's been listed as questionable, which is a game time decision, which I'm guessing he'll probably play.
Yeah, he'll probably play. Damn, that's really good for you guys. I think though, like when teams stop McCaffrey, then it kind of like halts the offense. I don't know if you feel that way as well. Like when I look at the 2 losses, when McCaffrey doesn't have 150 yards, then it's kind of tough. Like it seems like Purdy tries to do too much sometimes. Like I look at him, and as soon as the ball snapped, he's like looking to run somewhere, and I'm just like, just settle down, like just go through your reads, and he's going through like one or two, and he's trying to book it when
Yeah.
McCaffrey isn't able to kind of tee off on defenses.
Yeah. Well, it
So
should be more. It should be more helpful for Brock for this week because Debo's
yeah,
back, so he's already cleared to
yeah.
play. So that's going to be an interesting matchup. But
Trent
since
and Debo. Whew.
yeah, that's trending in the right direction. But then you look at your bright spots on your defense when it comes to linebackers. This guy has been like an absolute monster. Like Foysa, I don't know how you say his name.
Foye.
Foye. This guy,
Aluakon.
Aluakon, this guy is everywhere. Like when he was coming
He
from the
is.
Falcons, you guys made a nice splash signing, but this guy almost had 200 tackles.
Yeah. He's led the league in tackles for like the last 3 years. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Like
he's just everywhere.
yeah, like he can definitely defend sideline to sideline. They definitely call him the quarterback of the defense for sure. Just because he's always telling he's always telling everybody where to be. And I think another reason why the Jaguars stopped the run a lot more is because they have, they're not just pure edge rushers that come off the line, they're outside linebackers. So one of their other jobs as an outside linebacker is to drop back into coverage. And so they do that even on run plays. So they can they can defend the flats a lot better than other teams. It's more about like when they run through the middle, and like if Foyer isn't crashing through the right lane, then it could be a tough day for the run game. But yeah, like on most of the time, the linebacker Foyer Aluakon, he's everywhere, dude. He's everywhere, sideline to sideline.
Yeah, on film, he just pops up everywhere. It's like you can't ignore number 23. He's just all around the field. And then you got Devin Lloyd, a linebacker from Utah. I think a couple seasons ago, I had him on one of my top grades as a linebacker. I thought he was a good pick.
Yeah, I thought he was a really good pick too. He was good in coverage, and he's still good in coverage. But like he's just it's hard as linebackers to kind of come into the league, and kind of know everything and make a huge impact. So he does well when it comes to sideline work. In the passing game, he's not that bad, especially when running after guys. It's just like I just wish he was a little bit better when stopping the run. But if like you mentioned earlier, the Jaguars' run defense is pretty stout right now. So that's why he can kind of get a chance to still kind of get his feet wet with what's going on, because Aluakon pretty much he covers everything.
Oh yeah, like I don't know, just something about him. It's just he's everywhere. It's just hard to like anytime you look at the Jags defense, number 23 just pops up. So it's like, man, it's like how do you stop this guy? Like he's like a vacuum or a Hoover Dam right there,
Yeah,
but,
one of the best signings for sure.
Yeah, he is for your foundation. And a couple seasons ago, you went from Urban Meyer, and then now Doug Patterson's turning this culture around. But like, how do you feel about Trayvon Walker? You guys could have got Aiden Hutchinson, but how do you feel about Trayvon Walker going forward?
So, in terms of Aiden Hutchinson, like, I don't think a lot of people remember, like what was going on during the draft time. And he went on a podcast and he said, "Oh yeah, like I'm not going to Jacksonville, like it's too cold there." And he's from like the Michigan area or whatever. So I think no matter what, he was going to go to Detroit, and I think he was kind of throwing shade at Florida a little bit. So at that point, like as like a fan, I didn't want him. But looking back, obviously he's a better pass rusher. But Trayvon, man, he's a force on the field in terms of like things that aren't showing up on the stat sheet. Okay, like yeah, he needs more pass rushing moves because he's not getting to the quarterback, but he is double teamed a good amount of times. He's decent when dropping back into coverage, and he's asked to do that a lot. And that gives a chance for the corners to maybe drop into deep cover 3, or the safeties kind of step up in the box and blitz when you have a guy like Trayvon Walker that's able to drop back into the coverage and cover sideline to sideline or a quarter of the field. He's able to do that because of his length, because he's so big. So I mean, I wouldn't say it was like a mistake. Obviously, you hope that he can kind of step it up in terms of pass rush moves, but things that aren't on the stat sheet, I think is where he kind of produces a little bit more.
Yeah, like against the run, he seems solid right there.
Yeah, and he gets a good amount of pressures too. So I think it's just like Josh Allen. Like you kind of wish that they were able to replace Arden Key. But on the other hand, like they got a pretty good interior that's doing pretty well. Roy Robertson, Harris. He's from Chicago. They got him like 2 seasons ago, and he kind of comes in. He can kind of move across the line. Even though he's an end, he definitely plays the middle sometimes too.
Yeah, like he's played up the middle and all that stuff. So like, you look at the rest of your guys' defense. I mean, some of your defensive line, that's part where you guys do good against the run because you got like some of your D tackles, your other guys. I mean, but Trayvon Walker, yeah, just on what you said on the stat sheet, like the pressures doesn't show as much because he gets enough pressure and he creates enough turnovers sometimes. But there is this one guy we just happened to draft that actually was leading the Georgia Bulldogs in sacks the previous year before Trayvon Walker got drafted, but I don't think he's expected to play. But this guy, Robert Beal, isn't too far off. He's got speed off the edge. Like, I'm excited to see how this guy. Yeah, Robert Beal Jr., this guy we'll probably see next week if he gets out there. But I'm just intrigued to see how this matchup goes into. So as far as the one matchup I'm definitely looking forward to is how you guys are going to adjust on Deebo Samuel now. He's coming off healthy.
Yeah. Debo, he's obviously a force to be reckoned with. He's really good against man coverage. It's just like they don't play a lot of man though. The Jaguars. So it's about like, how's he going to be when he has to sit, in zones. Cuz he's really good at, breaking away from people, in terms of obviously the man coverage. But yeah, we'll see, with the zone, it's just the tackling. Like they're not terrible at tackling or anything, the Jags, but it's definitely something where in the second part of the field is something you're concerned about. If he's able to catch a ball that's 10, 15 yards deep, are they going to be able to get him down quick? So that's definitely going to be something they're going to want to pay attention to because he's one of the best. He's one of the best out there.
Yeah, we might try to find a way to out scheme your defense a little bit. So you guys might need to watch out for that. But since everybody's kind of writing off this kid, Brock Purdy, man, just for you, just an outside looking in, do you feel like he's going through growing pains or is it for this guy? It's like there's a lot of questions on this guy. Oh, they got a book on this kid. Or is he just going through the rookie mistakes right now?
I mean, I think he's just going through some of the mistakes, and the offensive line is a big reason for it too. The offensive line isn't that great. When you especially when you don't have Trent Williams in there. So that's something where he's always had that anchor on that left side, which is the most important position in football, that left tackle, because Brock Purdy's not left-handed; he's right-handed, right?
He's right-handed. I mean,
so then it's the most important position in football. That's that's your blind spot. Not having that guy is, I think, one of the reasons why Brock Purdy was kind of giving up of going through some of his reads, and he was trying to take off because he's not comfortable. So I think this week going forward can be more of a judgment on his, him growing as a quarterback because he will have his players back. So
yeah, hopefully that builds confidence, and then we're coming into the bye week, so like. Same thing with the Jags coming into the bye week, but you're coming on a 5-game winning streak. The Niners, the players in general, they were just beat up mentally, and they felt like the bye week was a perfect time for them to be more healthy and fresh and get some key players back. So this is going to be
the main thing. Mm-hmm.
But since we're going to discuss about Trevor Lawrence and that Jaguars offense, I mean, I don't know if this is legit facts from what I'm hearing. So like, Jaguars in the red zone. I heard they're not that good in the red zone when it comes in between the red zone. Like, can you explain to that?
Yeah, I mean, there's been some issues in terms of that, but I think it's a little bit of growing pains, like how you say with Brock Purdy, because Press Taylor is now calling plays for he's like the real offensive coordinator. Last year, it was Doug Peterson, and Doug Peterson won't admit if there comes a time where he's calling plays or Press calling plays, because he always has his offensive coordinators back. So I think it's really just kind of getting used to the short field. When you're in the red zone, you only have a certain amount of space. And I think Trevor does well when he has that first and second read. But in the red zone, when he goes, like, maybe he throws to his third read, he sometimes like just doesn't see the secondary, maybe pop, like, jump the route because there's such a short amount of space. If you're only sending two guys in the end zone, then that means you have like four defensive backs to kind of just watch the ball and watch the quarterback's eyes. And so I think sometimes he trusts the offense scheme too much, and they should just hand it off, or just kind of give Trevor a chance to kind of make these mistakes, because it's still kind of early. I'm not gonna say it's early in the season or anything. We're halfway through it now.
Learn experience.
But yeah, they're a second half team. Like, if you look at last season, they're better in the second half of the season than they were in the first. And that's when Trevor learned Doug Peterson's offense to begin with, like you said, how they got rid of Urban Meyer. So I think this is just the second year with a new, play caller, Press Taylor, and I think everybody's just kind of getting used to each other. And so far, the defense have bailed them out in terms of scoring points. They've still been able to win. Travis Etienne is such a good runner. He's able to kind of get in the end zone. And it's just about, are they drawing up the right plays at the right time against the right defenses? And I think it's just them kind of working out the kinks.
Yeah, that's part of one of the main areas you guys got to work on the most. I mean, yeah.
One thing I want to mention is, like, if you look at the Jaguars, like, where they throw the ball, I think they throw the ball to the middle of the field the least, like, I think, like, bottom 5 in the NFL. They do not throw it to the middle, like, unless they're running like mesh, right? So I think the 49ers have to stop the outsides. Like, Calvin Ridley's going to run an out route, or a comeback route, and you got to be able to stop that one-on-one, and force Trevor to throw it to the middle of the field. And then maybe if you have, a safety kind of drop down, or Fred Warner drop back, maybe that's something that can kind of confuse Trevor a little bit, because they're not throwing to the middle of the field at all. And I think that's one of the problems, one of the reasons why they have issues in the red zone, because when you're throwing to the outside in the red zone, it's not hard to take that away. So you're forced to throw to the middle. When you're in your side of the field, you don't have to throw to the middle, because there's more space. So.
Oh, yeah. Like, especially if you guys are not trying to test the middle, that's where you guys can get some of your big plays out of it. But looking into the Jaguars, the way they've been moving the ball more is because their main target is, like, I'm surprised, but it's Evan Ingram actually making the most catches and actually being one of your reliable receivers besides Kirk and Ridley. I mean, Evan Ingram, he's coming in from like last season or 2 seasons ago. He was with the Giants. When he's coming into Jacksonville, he's a completely different player, but he's actually the other weapon that we got to mainly focus on too.
Yeah, he's definitely one of Trevor's best friends on the field. He kind of can always just kind of throw it up to him, and he can trust that he'll come down with it. And I think, like, the other players really haven't been able to, like, be trusted in those big moments. Ridley has dropped a good amount of passes. I don't know where Kirk is at in terms of drops. But, like, the wide receiver core, like, hasn't lived up to the potential that we thought that it would. And, like, that's why Zay Jones is such a big loss, because he has some of the best hands on the team. He's not, like, the best route runner or anything, but he gets open and he can make these crazy catches. Yeah, same with Evan Ingram. Those two are the most reliable. Ridley is really good when it comes to route running, but, like, if it's not placed perfect, like, is he going to come down with it? Like, that's a question mark,
Yeah. Speaking of Zay Jones, he's been missing significant time. So what's his status going on? Like, I know he's like your other reliable.
He's out.
He's out for this one.
Yeah, he's out. He's really been, like, he's been limited the whole week. They thought maybe he could play, but yesterday Doug Peterson said that it was a long shot, and then today I got the email that he's out. So it's unfortunate, because he's just his hands are great, man. He's I don't know if he wears stickum or something, but he never drops the ball, bro. It's crazy.
Or he's just making catches like his life is dependent on it or something.
Yeah, man. Like he, it's a contract or something, and he's living up to it. But
man, I mean, I mean, if he's testing the market next year, I hope somebody keeps an eye on this guy. This guy's really kind of making a name for himself. But
Yeah, I actually have to look that up because I don't know. I know that next year is going to be really tough on the free agents because there's going to be a lot of them. But I don't know if Zay Jones is one of them. But they're definitely the Jaguars team is going to be uh pretty crazy next season in terms of these contracts.
yeah, we I hope San Fran keeps an eye on Zay. We might want to get him because Jennings is a free agent next year, so we'll see. That's another guy
Oh,
that's
okay.
in there. Yeah, Jennings is going to be a free agent. We got a couple of young receivers like Ronnie Bell, but Danny Gray's been a non-existence. But like the way our offense has been going, like the last few games, like you said, it had to do with maybe not no Trent Williams. Our offense was out of sync, but our defense was just really that bad. Like we just given up consistently drives. We've been missing tackles, and that's why a lot of the big runs were going into the plays with guys like Madison and Mixon and Jerome Ford or all those other backs. I think that's
Yeah,
what's but we gotta tackle ETN because if we don't tackle this kid, forget about it.
he
Like
breaks a lot of tackles too. Like it's
he's
kind of
tough.
crazy. Yeah, one guy I'm concerned about a little Travarius Ward.
Ooh,
He
Travaris
he
Ford.
he, he was kind of getting beat in man coverage. So if he's on Calvin Ridley, I'm definitely going to pay attention to that matchup.
Well, that's going to be a concerning matchup because Travaris Ward, he can either have his best game, and then there's those other games he just looks really bad, like he's out of place. But
Yeah, like it's so frustrating to watch too because I've seen it on film where like a dude does the comeback route and it takes him like a whole second and a half for him to then adjust, and it's just like he's already caught the ball at that point. Like, and it's just like I don't know why his change of direction is just so slow. Sometimes it's kind of frustrating.
yeah, if I'm Jacksonville on offense, if I were to take a betting target on, I don't know who you guys match up on the nickel because Oliver's one of our biggest, weakest links. So if you guys have like your slot receiver, try to throw it
Kirk,
at him. Oh,
Christian
Kirk.
Kirk.
Oh, that does not look good, man. Like Kirk is just like Oliver against Kirk. That's not going to be good. Oh my God! Anybody who has Christian Kirk on fantasy football, start him. Start him.
Damn, you're so funny.
No, seriously, like because Oliver cannot cover. That's the problem. He gets beat, and that's concerning. If you guys keep focusing on Christian Kirk, that's going to be like a mismatch. Like I already got Evan Ingram in one of my lineups. I'm pretty sure he'll give me some of those points. But if anybody has Christian Kirk on the bench, you better start him.
Yeah, I mean, like it's different because like Zay Jones is out, and that's the other sideline guy. So it was Zay Jones, then it was Calvin Ridley, and then it was Christian Kirk in the slot. But with Zay out, they may move, Kirk around a little bit more. They may put Evan Ingram in the slot because he's more of a receiving tight end. He's not like just a
Yeah,
strictly on the line blocking tight end. So
yeah,
obviously, you know that.
yeah. But I think with Kirk in that matchup, it's just a mismatch. I don't know. Until we bench Oliver, I don't see no faith in Oliver. Oliver's kind of been killing us in coverage. Like he's gotten away with it. He's got like some couple holdings. He got beat multiple occasions. The only thing that Oliver does so well is only tackling. The rest of it, it's like this dude cannot cover. Like, I mean, if you put Kirk in that matchup, I'm guarantee you he's gonna have a field day. But if you try to mix him up in other coverages, he might be okay, But with Oliver,
I'm
I'm not
definitely
putting
going
him
to pay
on.
attention to that then.
Yeah, you don't want to test Lenore. I think Lenore's kind of been really good this season, but Travarius Ward's like a gamble. But you might want to try to like go against our nickel because he's been our weakest link. And safeties have been okay. Like Gibson's probably one of our bright spots besides Hufunga. Like he's kind of been the guy that's been doing a really good job in coverage at times.
He was on the Jaguars in 2017 when they went to the AFC Championship.
Oh
He
yeah, they
was on
signed
the
him.
Jags. Yeah, so that I think he used to be. I mean, he moved around a lot. He was on a lot of teams. But I'm pretty sure he's with Cleveland or oh no, he was yeah, he was with Cleveland first and then Jacksonville.
Yeah, and then he went to
He
Chicago.
was really well.
I think he
Oh,
went to like
Chicago after.
I think he went to Houston or Chicago, and then he went to then eventually after the Bears, he went to us. He's kind of been a huge addition to our defense. Like,
Yeah, he was good with the Jags too.
yeah,
He's
he
a good
was. He was
player.
a ball hawker. Yeah, he was a ball
Hmm.
hawker. I think in Cleveland he was a ball hawker, but when he went to Jacksonville, he turned around that culture too. So it's like, yeah, you guys had a really good squad in that early part. Like in 2017, you guys were considered the Super Bowl like contenders, and then
they played the Patriots and those refs, man, they were really bad. They just wanted another Eagles Patriots rematch. That's what I think. So they made sure that they had that happen. So I was hoping for an Eagles Jaguars Super Bowl because I think they matched up a lot better than the Patriots Eagles Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, but I think for this game, this does have like kind of like a Super Bowl matchup, kind of in a way. Like you think about it.
I think at least like obviously it's AFC and NFC, so yeah, you could say Super Bowl. I think we're definitely going to find out towards the end of the season, but I think this is one of the early games where you're going to find out which team has more heart to get too deep in the postseason. I think this is going to be one of those games to decide who does have more heart going halfway through the season. It's 3 L's, man.
3 L's.
49ers need this, bro. They need this, man.
You got to bring those 3 L's. You know why it's those 3 L's?
I have to because it's so humble. Crazy. Yeah. I just was not expecting it. Like I thought they were gonna kill the Browns, man. I thought they were gonna kill them. I was on Steph's podcast and I said they were gonna win like 35-10. I was like, they're not the only time they're gonna get 9 points is because they're gonna get 3 field goals. Talking about the Browns, and I was way off, man. I was like I was so disappointed.
It was one of those games. The one thing that kind of hurt us was we were getting too cocky, and I think it backed us up a little bit. So. I mean, yeah, we're on a losing streak, and it's kind of been like we're just hungry. And the Jaguars, I think this is one of the best games we're facing this upcoming season. I think this has the making of, I don't know, this may sound off, but maybe there's potential of Super Bowl. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming.
I mean, I think so. Like, it's only like the Jags have to knock off a couple of those AFC teams. But in terms of the NFC, I think that, I think the 49ers obviously have a chance. But, we look at the AFC, the Ravens are up there right now. You got the Chiefs always. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, especially. Oh, yeah. Like, I think the way you're saying it, like, we just got to wake up and play our formula a little bit. So, like, that's just something we just got to get back to our identity. But Jaguars, they're just on a 5-game winning streak. Like, you look at the opponents that everybody's questioning, like, who cares? Jacksonville took care of business. Like, you guys beat the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills are an up and down team. Pittsburgh,
they are an up and down team.
They're good as their record says. I mean, a win's a win.
Mean, I'm actually really surprised of the Jaguars' record right now because it just seemed like the offense couldn't really pull it together. I think the defense is playing outstanding, definitely a lot better than what I thought they were going to be playing. So the defense is the shining, the knight in shining armor for this team for sure.
Yeah. I just think a lot of it's going in your guys' favor because the way you guys are taking care of the ball a little bit. So I think a lot of it plays into your defense picking up the slack a little bit and then your offense complementing it a little bit. So Trevor Lawrence hasn't really made too many mistakes as much when it came to your guys' offense. I think your defense, even when he made a little bit of it, they were able to pick up the slack a little bit. And then your running game has been really a great complementary to your team. Evan Ingram has been helping your offense on third downs. I mean, Christian Kirk, when he gets those big plays, forget about it. This guy can take it down the field a little more.
Take the top off of the defense for sure. I think ETN is if it wasn't for him, I think people would be a lot more worried about this Jaguars offense. He's making something out of nothing a lot of the times. He's really good at breaking tackles. He's really good at remaining patient. He's really good. The holes are there and he's hitting them. So, there's not a ton of running backs that, that are able to do that. Look at Najee Harris, man. He's not great right now. He looks like he's running with a truck on his back. The Pittsburgh Steelers running back, he's so much better, but when he sees an open hole, he's just not hitting it. And I don't know why. You just look at him and it's just just run. Like he's going into the contact. So it's just like, because ETN is playing so well right now, I think it's kind of making it easier. It's definitely making it easier for Trevor Lawrence. So that's going to be one of the top matchups to watch. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
ETN against the defense. So
Yeah, I think limiting ATM would probably be the main key for us, and then try to find a way to just like take away Ingram out of the equation. I know you're probably going to have your targets with Kirk more because I think that's going to be the one matchup I'm more concerned about than your tight end. I mean, ETN of course is going to concern me because he's hard to tackle at times, and he's a good receiving back. Like I don't think he's far off from Christian McCaffrey when it comes to the skill set. Like ETN is an all around back. Like if you
yeah,
want him
there
to,
was last
yeah,
game he ran a wheel route and he
yeah,
he caught it up the sideline and ran it in. It was like a 60-yard touchdown or something crazy. So
that's what makes it so scary about him. Like he is more than just a running back. Like this guy is just forget
yeah,
about it.
he's pretty good. I'm definitely worried about Debo though, because when you look at the stat sheet, like you're saying, what that Jaguars pass defense, I think that's a worry for sure.
Well, we're gonna have to find ways to scheme it up a little bit. But here's a good question I like right here. Shout out to Gavin from the UK. Let's see. How worried is Laurie knowing that Steve Wilkes will be on the sideline this game instead of the skybox?
Oh, okay. I had no idea that he was going to be on the sideline this game.
Yeah, it's been reported, and then Kyle even discussed about it during the press conference. And I guess Steve Wilkes said it's not a big deal as everybody makes it seem like. But a lot of the players feel like it makes a difference now that he gets to be close to the players and connect instead of being on the skybox.
Yeah, I mean, like, who. It's tough because I think D'Amico Ryans was, a big part of that defense, that you guys had. He was a big reason why, um, you know, the defense played so well. Obviously, the 49ers have some of the best defensive players in the game. Just looking at Fred Warner, but I think maybe the communication is maybe something that's not working. So I think him being on the sideline is 100% going to make this team a little bit better, especially that accountability when they come off the field. There's nobody really yelling at them. They have to get a call from upstairs in order to hear Coach
Yeah.
Wilkes scream at them. But now they'll be right on the sideline. So I think that should definitely play a part for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here's a good question by Carcast. I like this question since we're going by the answer of these fans. I mean, let's see. What matchup are you looking forward to in this matchup? I think that's what he's saying.
What's your favorite matchup in this game?
Yeah, because that's what he said on, I don't know, the comment section isn't popping up.
Um,
Oh, there it is. What's your favorite matchup in this game?
so I would like to see whoever's lined up against Debo. Honestly, Darius Williams has been playing pretty well. I would like to see what Andre Cisco is able to do. See, he also mentioned in his next comment, he mentioned Rayshawn Jenkins. So, like, last season he was like a 180 from the season before that. The season before that, like, he wasn't even taking the right angles to tackle guys. And I basically, like, kind of called him out a little bit on Twitter, and he responded. He's like, yo, you should stop making videos, like, because, like, I don't know, I guess he got mad at me. But, like, he was playing like crap, bro. And so, like, I have to say something. So, he wasn't too happy about that. And then last season, he definitely turned it around. So, I think this is definitely a game to keep your eye on Rayshawn. He's playing inside the box a little bit more, so he wouldn't really be a guy to pay attention to in terms of Debo, like, because obviously Debo is. Well, no, I mean Debo takes the ball. He does like jet sweeps and stuff.
Yeah,
He does like quick slants. So I mean Rayshawn will be there, but I don't think he's a guy that's going to be lined up against Debo.
No, I think it might be one of your other safeties, or maybe Williams. Like he's another guy that goes into the coverage because I mean he's familiar with Debo from coming from the Rams. I mean,
yeah, I mean they play zone defense, so the Jags. So there's not really going to be like that like matchup
yeah,
type of in terms of wide receivers versus like corners, just because they play zone. And obviously wide receivers move around a lot, so unless they're on the same exact side every single time, there probably won't be any of those like
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, like so did Rayshawn block you on Twitter? Because I get those all the time.
I don't think he blocked. I mean, I don't think he blocked me, but he definitely called me out.
Oh wow! I got an interesting story. Like I actually criticized Jake Brendel, our center, and he took it really personal and blocked me because I criticized his pass blocking a little bit, and then I called out his
They
run
don't
block.
like it, man. I
They
don't
don't.
like
They're soft.
it's crazy. Like I just like I wasn't expecting it. Um, but like yeah, like if you have a decent amount of followers, like they'll put like the words right in your mouth, man, and they'll be like, oh, really, you feel that way? Like if you have a decent amount of followers, so it don't say anything that you don't want to have to back up,
Oh yeah.
which is life. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of glad that he said that. Like I'm kind of glad, not for your situation, but mine. Like
Oh yeah.
like I'm glad you're mad about that. I'm because I said you didn't take a good angle.
Take it
But
a
you
field.
didn't
Yeah.
even catch the guy though. So it's just like, was I really that wrong? But I think he was talking about the schematic wise. Like maybe he was in the maybe I said he was in the wrong spot, but he really wasn't type of deal. Where it's just like that's just nitpicking at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is
Some of
what
them,
it is.
some of them take it personally. They don't even like it. So it's like the one guy that caught my attention that I actually called out before because he was going at Debo. I didn't think he took me seriously, but once he saw me call him out and actually like make fun of his name changing, I'm like, okay, I guess what's his name? Chauncey Gardner Johnson didn't take no exception and just blocked me right off the bat.
Wow. I mean, I
Called
heard
out Debo.
he talks a lot of shit though.
Yeah, he does, and
He
I
talks a
didn't see.
lot of shit.
Yeah, he called Debo a running back who can't even run routes. That's just funny. I'm like,
Is it?
how?
Isn't he the one that got his chain snatched? Didn't he get his chain snatched?
I think so. I think it was one of the other
Against
matchups.
like the Saints or something, right? Yeah, he was on the Saints. Yeah, he got his chain snatched, and then the dude smacked him in the face, and he was like,
Oh, that
and
Bears receiver. Yeah,
that was funny.
yeah, it
But
was kind of.
yeah, I only know like yeah, he's a good player and everything. Like when he left the Eagles, though, he was talking a lot of shit after that.
Yeah, he was
So
talking
I
on
mean,
the Philippines. Yeah,
I love that though, because nowadays like nobody wants to say anything because you don't want to get canceled. Like nah, bring that old
yeah.
school like
Mentality.
football back. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, bring that old school mentality. And shout out to Laura Cat. I guess she said hello back to you and all that. Big huge follower of my show. She likes that I bring in some females like to everybody else. But
Exactly.
every now and then I try to, but you're one of you and Steph are very intelligent, so I always bring football mindeds, and when it comes to the
Exactly.
Jaguars, I have to come to you because you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And Notorious, you said from the UK or Welsh?
Yeah, he's from Wales.
So he said, how many sacks is Josh Allen gonna get? I said 2.5.
2.5. Wow, that's a bold take right there. I mean,
Especially if Trent is playing, that's definitely a bold take.
yeah, that
But
is a bold take. Yeah.
because he's mostly going up against the left tackle. So that will be tough. Maybe if they move him to the other side, and him and Trayvon Walker get to switch a little bit, maybe he'll have a chance to get 2.5. But I just feel like he's been on a roll lately, so
Ooh,
I'm gonna just
so
say that.
yeah, I'm gonna make sure that if you get this correct, I'm gonna give you credit for that one because if it's against McKivitz, I'm pretty sure he'll have no issue with getting maybe 2.5 sacks or maybe 3.
Yeah, McKivitz. Oh my gosh, yeah.
If it's McKivitz, I'm being generous. He might even get 3.
Ooh, well, Trayvon Walker, man, gotta this might be his game to finally step it up, like
Against
in
Trent.
terms of getting stacks. Yeah,
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 but
for sure.
yeah, but since we're looking at guys who need to step up for this matchup, I mean, which Jaguar player needs to step up for this week against the Niners?
That's a good question. Hmm. I would say Calvin Ridley. I think he's due to have a breakout game. Like, obviously he's been playing like decent enough, but I think he needs to have a game where he just goes off. Him or Kirk maybe, and with the way you talk about Oliver, maybe this could be Kirk's game. But yeah, I'm gonna say Calvin Ridley. He needs to have a game where he really steps it up.
Yeah, he's got to have some type of X factor matchup for you guys to have a chance. I mean, because of outside of just Kirk and Ingram, you need somebody to step up in that. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. ETN is a difference maker also, but you need those other guys to step in also, and that makes your offense more good. So
For sure.
for the Jags to even pull for the Jags to continue on a 6-game winning streak, what are the three keys for them to win this game? That's the thing. What does the Jaguars got to do to win this game? So it's like three keys to the game. I mean,
I think, ETN has to go off.
Yeah.
I think they have to pick off Brock Purdy. They
gotta
need to
have
get
some of those. Yeah.
Yep, need to get some interceptions, and they have to stop the run. If they stop McCaffrey, there's a really good chance that they could win. If they're able to stop McCaffrey, because I feel like he's been like the heart and soul of that offense. And obviously the stats, I'm a little concerned about the passing defense. But I think if the 49ers have to rely on the passing offense, then you put more pressure on it you have to be able to like play well. So I think stopping McCaffrey is going to be more important. So that Purdy has to he forces it into some places that maybe a Jaguar defensive back will be there to maybe pick it off. We'll see.
Yeah. I think for three keys for the Niners to pull off this win is simply try to find ways to get Debo involved in the passing game. Like you said, your pass defense is a little suspect, so that could be the one key we could try to do is try to factor in Debo in the passing game. Try to get McCaffrey going, but most of all, try to get Trevor Lawrence. Try to pressure this quarterback. Try to make him force bad mistakes. That's what we need to do. That's the best key for us, and then let the rest take care of itself. But I expect this to be a very good game. But as far as your score prediction, we're going to get on to the conclusion. Then maybe we'll answer a couple of questions. Then we could end from here, and then may the best team win after we get to that topic.
Yeah. So we'll go 21-20. Jags.
Ooh, so it's going to be a 1-point game from the Jags. Ooh.
Yeah, I think it'll be close, something like that, or 24-23. But I think the defenses are going to play pretty well. So I'm not even sure if they're going to get to 20. Could be like 17 to I can't even say 16 because that's not even a thing. But
we'll see.
13. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be super high scoring, but
I think what you're saying is not wrong. I think it could be a really close game. But if things go our way, if we get back on track, you may take this as me getting a little too cocky a little bit. But I think you guys are gonna get a little too confident. That's part of the one thing that it's okay to feel confident, but maybe this is the kind of game for us to wake up. So
yeah,
I say we'll definitely have a game where maybe it comes down to maybe the last, to the wire. Maybe Brock Purdy takes us down the field. And
you don't have to be nice.
No, okay. Hopefully this feeds off your Jaguars, because I know they haven't got enough respect from the media. I know they've been kind of hyping us too much, and hypothetically, we haven't had every right to feel that way. But maybe this is the game. So I think this game's going to come down to the final of the possession. I think Brock Purdy is going to make his first ever comeback in this game. I think Jags are going to have that type of lead where they're going to feel overconfident, and Brock Purdy's going to take us down the field and win it with Jennings catching the ball. I think this score is going to be
specific. Okay.
I think 28-24. Because I think Jags are going to feel a little confident, which I don't blame you guys. You guys are probably going to have a 10-point lead or something.
Yeah, and they're gonna be at halftime. They're gonna be like, "You guys won 4 losses in a row." I don't think so. And then you turn it around.
Yeah. But either way, I think it's gonna be a good game. So I don't know how it's gonna play out. If we can't get it together, then everybody's got to give Jags their respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean they're never gonna get that. They're never gonna get the respect. I mean they always say, "Oh, it's Jacksonville." That's all you got to say. It's Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville. I don't know how they're not tired of it.
Yeah, they deserve their respect because they've been playing good football. When you're on a 5-game winning streak and when you are been taking care of the football, give them their respect.
Yeah, I mean, but you see CJ Stroud playing so well in the AFC South, and for some reason that's made a lot of people throw shade at Trevor Lawrence because it's I don't know. I don't even know what it's like, honestly, because just because CJ Stroud is playing well, I don't see how that can even be a conversation with Trevor Lawrence. But that's what it's become. these last like 2 weeks, these last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been, Lawrence, he's a game manager, he's not a quarterback. And I'm sure, you hear that about Brock Purdy. And all you got to do is just keep winning. And, I know right now you guys have those 3 losses. I'm going to say it again. Sorry, 3 losses.
Oh,
But
it's okay. It's okay.
you still have the respect. And you'll get it back, once you go on the winning streak. It's just like the Jaguars have to get to the Super Bowl in order to finally be respected by the media. But they're still young. The 49ers have been a team since, I don't know, probably the 40s or something. Jaguars only been around since 1995.
Yeah,
so,
a long time ago. So, when you look at the way it's going, like, Jags have every right to feel that way. And Trevor Lawrence, like, if they say he's a game manager, I'm sorry, that is not a game manager. That is a legit starting quarterback. He could be a franchise for the next decade. This guy does a lot more. He can throw the ball down the field. He can even scramble. He can even be very intelligent when it comes to making the plays. Like, I've seen this kid play at Clemson. I think in high school, he was one of their best quarterbacks in the state of Georgia. So him not getting enough respect, he even won national championship, and he's actually turning around this culture in Jacksonville. Like, give this guy flowers at least.
Give them some respect. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is definitely going to be a good game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna, I have off tomorrow, so yeah, I'm excited to watch this one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for everybody else, if you guys want to, leave a couple comments, and we'll definitely answer, and then we'll end it on a high note. But yeah, I guess they're saying that Trevor Lawrence reminded him of Prince Charming.
Yo. I mean, yeah, look at his Goldilocks, yo.
I say Sunshine from Remember the Titans.
Yeah, but the Jaguars, they drafted a Sunshine, Blaine Gabbert.
Oh my God! I don't even mention this guy.
You remember him?
Yeah,
that did not work out. So I don't even like to say Sunshine anymore, because every time you say Sunshine, it reminds me of Blaine Gabbert. It's so crazy, even though obviously this is a better correlation of Sunshine with Trevor than it was Blaine Gabbert, but yeah, those are some dark times.
Yeah, Trevor's legit. No cap.
Yeah, exactly.
On that. So, like, he's really legit. Like, I think if your line blocks pretty well and it goes their exact way, it can be a field day for you guys. So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
But thank you guys for tuning in, and Laura gonna call it a day. So may the best team win, and good luck to the Jags. Even though we'll see what happens.
We'll see.
Yeah, and let's go.